host again, man.
Come on.
Yeah, we need to do another one in Atlanta. Hey, everybody, Doug Rucker here with PressureWashingSchool.com. And tonight, I know the football game's going on, but this is more important. It really, really is, to me anyway, because my team's not in the playoffs, so I could care less. But with joining me is Jeffrey Blackman, of course, and also Carlos Carrillo from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And coming up February 6th and 7th is the Differentt Makers Conference. That's going to be right here in Houston, Texas. And this is the conference that we do and go over nothing about cleaning and all about the business end of your business. And so what I wanted to do tonight, Jeff, is just kind of let Carlos talk a little bit about his experiences. And if you and I have some questions, well, when Carlos gets going now, it's like it's hard to stop him. So we'll just kind of let him run out of breath eventually, and then we'll ask some questions and pick him right back up. So Carlos, just tell the folks this is unscripted. Nobody, we didn't go over anything. So you've attended two different ones. The one here in Houston, and then we did one in your area in Atlanta. You were kind of the host guy for it,
right?
And so just kind of talk about both of them and your experience and how you think it can help people.
It was great because I took both of those meetings, the Difference Maker meetings, at two different times of where I was in the cycle of my business, right? So the first one that I took was literally at ground zero of where I was with my business. I was just getting started. I believe you were still building my truck, if I remember correctly.
On the first one, yes.
Yeah, I think you were building. I had just taken the hands-on, and then I came back then I had the Difference Maker right after that. And boy, that was just an eye opener for me, between the hands-on and then you go on to the Difference Maker, two different very different meetings. But the Difference Maker, what I really enjoyed was that deep dive into how to run your business. There's a difference in how you do your business, meaning how do you go in and spray a house or clean a driveway, or how much bleach to use, how to protect your property, that kind of stuff, to how to run your business. What are the things you need to think about when you're running your business, how to get more commercial contracts, how to get more residential contracts. What are the things you need to think about when you're doing bookkeeping, that kind of stuff, relationship with your customers, what your focus needs to be. So that was, to me, was like an incredible information, especially when I was just launching my business. Now, the second time around, it was, from my point of view, it was even better, because two things happened. Either validated the things that I implemented from the first meeting when I was starting my business, or it reminded me some of the things that I really needed to start doing now that I've been in business, for a little bit over, 2 years, 3 year plus now. So different timing of the business was great for me, because at the beginning, I'm just getting started. Second time, literally almost 2 years later, I was looking at it from a different perspective, different lens, and was focusing on different messaging, and it was great. Highly recommend it. Cannot recommend enough for you people, no matter where you are in that continuum of your running a pressure washing business, you have to take this course.
Yeah. And so, Jeff, you always started off with, we've talked about this before, creating that vision for your company. So just hit on that for a little bit and talk about, why that's so important.
Well, first of all, I think everything starts with a vision. And your vision is important because that is something that's going to hold you accountable for what you're trying to accomplish in your business. I'll talk about first just a little bit about creating a vision board, because a vision board is very, very important. That's something that's going to hold you accountable.
Right.
On the vision board, how many trucks you want to start off. You may be driving a Dodge Neon, but having a vision board of where you see your company at maybe 3 months from now or a year from now, having that truck that you want, or you may just have a little Ryobi pressure washer at the time, but you do the best with what you have, but you put something in front of you or what you're dreaming to have. And I think that is key, having that vision, because like I say, everything starts with a vision. And I'm so excited to teach on it, because not only I think I can teach on it because I've been where the new guy is starting at, wanting something. And at that time I couldn't afford it, but I had a vision for it.
Yeah, listen, that vision, not only that vision part, but also the part about your personal journey was, that was just life changing. I'm not going to give anything away, because you have to be there to listen to your story and your journey, inspiring, motivating. It's just truly an incredible story. But that vision part, I almost associate it to like a sailboat in the ocean. If you don't know where you're going, you're just going to be out there in the marketplace catching whatever wind comes your way, and you go one direction, then you go another direction, and you're going to be all over the place if you don't understand where is it you're going to go, right? It's never going to be a straight line. You're going to zigzag. In a sailboat, you're going to zigzag, you're going to go back and forth, but at least you know where you're going. How many trucks do you want? How many employees do you want? What's your revenue you're striving for? You cannot leave your business. This is hopefully anybody who's starting a business because they want to be an entrepreneur. People should not start a business to just to earn an income. Might as well just go work for someone else. I think you need to start a business because you want to be an entrepreneur, grow your business, get it to the next level. And none of that is going to happen if you don't have a clear vision of where you want to go. So if you take this course, or when you take this course, because you have to take this course, Jeff does a great job in positioning the importance of the vision, creating, I don't want to stand up right now and go get it, but I got my vision board right there. It's right there. I use it.
That's awesome.
It's right there. And not only am I working it with myself, but I'm working it with my wife. This is a family business. And this is the beauty of you doing something like this, because you can sit down with your wife, you can sit down with your kids, and now you have family moments, right? You got a family moments that, hey, how we should do this and what we need to put on a vision board, and how many trucks do we want, how much money do we want to make. It's not just about the revenue that we want to make, but how profitable. You can be $1 million business, but if you're spending $1,001, you're not profitable, right? So all those elements, that was a great part of, from the beginning, the moment I left that meeting, a vision board was one of the first things I started doing when I started the business, and it has held me accountable because I can always go back. And it's great to go and check off the pieces from your vision board and go, hey, I've done this and I did this already. And now this is where I'm going next. So it's really exciting, Jeff.
So that's why we started off with the vision, because it's important for people like Jeff is saying. You've got to, you just can't say you see a bunch of dirty houses, I'm going to start a business, and don't create a vision and don't create a plan and all of that. And so we follow that up. I do a little bit of mind mapping and showing people the different functions of the company. But I think one of the biggest things that we do is actually having a CPA come in and talk about money matters. And I know I think that was probably the hugest thing. And I'll let you tell them about the decision you made after hearing the CPA. But I think that's just big to get the money dialed in.
Listen, yes, vision board important. I mean, all these pieces are so important, but none of it is going to matter if you don't know how to manage your business. It doesn't matter how many trucks you have in your vision board if you don't know your numbers and you don't have somebody helping you with your numbers. I mean, that's not going to happen, right? So you need to understand where your money is going, how it's coming in, where you're going to put it. And at the end of the day, when we all start our businesses, we are wearing all the hats. We are operations, we are marketing, we are bookkeeping, we are quasi CPA, we are operations, technology, social media. You're wearing all these hats, and it's so easy to forget about managing your money. It is so easy. Most people don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like dealing with it. I don't like QuickBooks. I don't like that whole element of the business, right? But it's imperative for you to not only understand it, but find the people. That's one of my weaknesses. And I knew it from the beginning. From the beginning, I knew that doing this whole QuickBooks and managing money and putting things in receipts and categorizing your receipts on which buckets they're going to go, so that about the end of the year, you can reconcile all this and give it to your CPA. If you don't understand how to do that, then you got to find somebody who understands how to do that and hang on to them for dear life, because that's your lifeline for your business.
Yeah.
And when Kelsey came in, I mean, I was in. The first day she came in, she sat there, the way she expressed her information, the way she truly cares about her job, how she does it, and the connection she has with her clients. Now, I mean, I've had it from day one when I left your meeting. My next phone call was to her, and she was my bookkeeper right there and then.
Right.
And now we're almost 3 years later, and there's no way I could have done any of this without her help, with her support and assistance.
It's just such a huge relief, Jeff, when you know you've got the money in taken care of, somebody's handling that. It's just, it relieves a lot of stress.
Yeah. Not only that, somebody's that you're meeting with, if it's not on a monthly basis, but on a quarterly basis, telling you what needs to be done. Hey, you need to do this here. You need to do this here. That's to move this over here, cross this T, dot this I. And that helps a lot when you have somebody managing that for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you got somebody telling you, said, listen, hey, we need to put money away for taxes. Yeah. People forget that after December 31st, when you close the year, the IRS is going to be knocking at your door going, you owe me some money, right? And if you don't have that money somewhere, you are going to freak out.
Oh yeah.
You're going to have a lot of bad days if you don't understand where that money is. So if you don't have somebody hitting you over the head going, hey, wait a minute, we got, this is not just about all the money you're making, but it's also we got to put some money away so that at the end of the year, when it's time to pay taxes, you're not going to freak out. And somebody who gives you that discipline, it's awesome to have.
Absolutely. And then one of the things she did, I can't remember if she did it when you were there the first time. No, we did it the second time and you may have had to leave, but were you there for the pricing sheet where she helps people?
Yes, I was there. How to come up with your pricing structure.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That was an awesome thing because, I mean, if you're going out on a job and you don't know how to price something, that's according to your business.
Right.
If you have to go ask somebody, I've got to go do an estimate today. What should I charge?
Correct.
Well, who are you asking? What position are they in with their company? Are they going broke? Are they fixing to shut down in a week? Are they selling off their, equipment and stuff? Your business is not the same as my business as far as expenses go and, all that kind of stuff. So that's why we came up with that spreadsheet, was so that guys can work on it. And they actually, in the room, guys, when you attend this, we actually do it with you. We don't just say, here, take this and go fill this out and then you'll come. Right. We actually go line by line and help you figure out, based on the expenses of your company, based on the sales that you need to make the income that you need to make.
Correct.
So I see too many people get into this business and I'll say, well, how much do you need to make? If I could make 300 a week, that'd be great. Well, that's not a plan. That's not a, if I could make 300 a day or 500 a week or whatever. You've got to figure out what you got to make if you're going to be a sustainable, company.
Right.
If you're just doing this on the side just to make a little, change money or whatever, toy money or whatever, then that's a total different thing.
Well, the great thing for me is that, I mean, after doing this for a little while, or maybe even researching, because you want to do this as a business and you begin to research, you begin to understand what is the market pricing for your area. I mean, you know what people are charging for certain jobs, right? So the cool thing about this activity is that you know what the market is driving, right? And then you do this pricing sheet and you begin to realize, am I at the level of where the market is to still be profitable? So maybe I do the pricing sheet and go, oh my gosh, the market charges $700 for a house wash minus all my expenses, but at where I'm at in my business, I might be at $500.
Right.
So there's a $200 gap that I can play with now.
Sure.
Market is at 700. I'm at 500 based on my expenses. I'm like, oh, look, I got some wiggle room. But the opposite could be the same, right? The market is at 700, but your expenses make you do that house wash at 800. Something's got to be fixed.
Right.
Because now you're off balance, right? So that's the great thing about that particular pricing sheet. You understand and where you are in relation to the market and your own business to stay profitable.
Right. But the most important thing is making sure it's to your business.
That's
because,
correct.
I have to charge more than some other guys sometimes. And then what I have to do is explain to the customer why I'm higher. I have to create that value of why I'm higher than this guy. Well, he's doing the same thing. Well, then I have to come in and explain to them totally our process and procedures, our insurance, what type of insurance we have, our experience, our education, all of that kind of stuff.
No, in the type of machines we use,
Yeah, exactly.
the type of protection how we protect your property. Yeah, we might be more expensive, but we are putting a lot of detail on making sure your property is protected. And the same way you gave it to us is the same way it's going to come out from a protection standpoint, right? It's going to be cleaner, but your plants are not going to be burned. Your outlets are not going to be waterlogged. Your front door is not going to have water, inside and ruin your hardwood floors, that kind of stuff. Yeah, they might be cheaper, but are they paying attention to the details that we pay attention to make sure your property? So, yeah.
Exactly right.
I think another thing about that sheet as well, Doug, was when I first saw it and she pulled that sheet out, I pulled two things from it. It brung because I still use that sheet now.
Yeah.
It gives you structure, number one. It gives you structure, and it also teaches you discipline. And discipline plays a major part in your business, because I feel like that is because you may see an extra $200 sitting over here, but do you have the discipline enough to put that up for a rainy day? Because if you're a guy that works up north, you got to prepare for a rainy day, because you know that the cold weather is coming.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to understand. It's like, like pretty much say, if you don't understand your numbers, you don't understand your business.
Right.
You're not going to grow. There's virtually, if you leave it to chance, you're not going to grow. And most likely, unfortunately, you're going to run out of, you're going to go out of business if you leave it to chance.
Exactly right. And so guys also get a digital. We're going to email that to them as well, so that they can do it from their computer when they get home. And then it's just a great thing. They can continue to just go in and work on it, every 3 months, every 6 months or whatever. You go in, because sometimes your expenses increase, or you added something, a piece of equipment or whatever. So you've got to account for all of that, so guys can continue to stay on it, so that they don't just think, I charge this for the rest of while my business is open, and that's the other thing where, a bookkeeper comes in handy, comes in helpful. That's what Kelsey helped us a lot on in our retail business. You've got to get your prices up, your margins.
Right. Yes, I hear her.
There. And so we did that. Jeff, you talk also about different streams of revenue, residual income, especially, in pressure washing. Residual income is having things on maintenance, where you're continually setting up your residentials to come back at least once a year or every year and a half, but getting them set up so it's residual income, and you're not having to continually, if you just forget about them and leave them out there, then they're going to end up calling somebody else. They'll forget you or whatever.
Right.
They will.
And I think, Doug, a lot of times people look at the different streams of revenue, but it first begins with creating relationships.
Right.
And once you create relationships, it has beyond it. You have to operate in integrity. If you tell your client that you're going to be there at 9 o'clock, try to get there at 8:15, a little ahead of time, because you're setting up and doing everything you have to do. And I think that was one of the things that led me to creating multiple streams of income through my business, was creating relationships. Because every time I would create a relationship, just drop a little nugget, Doug. I started off fleet washing, and I created a relationship with the district manager, and he took me. I continued to wash fleet, but he asked me, have I ever done oil spills? So I started doing cleaning oil spills, and that led me to put me behind McDonald's, Burger Kings, and different places like that. So now I had an opportunity now to start doing commercial buildings. So it was multiple streams of income that I was doing. Another thing I do, I created three multiple streams of income through my striping company.
Right.
Not only do I do the work, but also I teach it. Also, I wrote a book on what I'm doing. So those are three different types of, streams of income right there. And I think a lot of times we don't sit back and maximize where we at. We try to venture off into other things when we haven't maximized the area that we in, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. And, I think it's important also to remind guys, Pat Clark will also be joining us on this one. I don't think you know these guys, and Ray Burke, Carlos. Those are two guys that I've done. I've done Difference Makers. This will be the third time I've done it over the last, about every 2 to 3 years. I call these guys in or call them and say, hey, y'all want to do another? And they're like, yeah, man, that's fun. Let's do it. They enjoy they usually are teaching and speaking to larger crowds than what we get for these.
Right.
Our Difference Makers are on purpose, intimate, small settings. We keep it limited seating. And so they really enjoy getting in front of a smaller group and being able they feel like it's more hands-on teaching, even though we're not hands-on, but they get to answer a lot of questions and that type of thing. So
what do they cover? What if you don't
So Ray is going to be teaching on government contracts, how to apply, how to get government contracts, what's involved in that. He's also going to be teaching on commercial property sales, working with property managers. And then he also has a company that he does drone cleaning. And so he's bringing his drone and he's going to do a demonstration on the hotel. I still got to get permission to do that, but I don't think it's going to be a problem on the backside of the hotel. So yeah, he's going to bring that. And then Pat is going to talk about, he's talking about commercial real estate from the beginning stages, how you start getting into commercial properties and that type of thing.
Okay.
And then he's also going to talk about how you build a team. So Pat comes from a company. He used to have a company that had 7 or 8 trucks in North Carolina. And sales guys that went out, 4 or 5 sales guys that went out. So he'll talk about how you build a team. And so whether it's a guy like you that's a one-man operation or somebody that's been in the business 2 or 3 years, eventually you want to try to build a team so that you can get off the truck, because we're not going to be young forever. Yeah.
I don't want to be in the truck forever.
Right. No, so he talks about that. And then we also have an actual, I think you were there. I think he was here for one of yours. Nick Terry, an actual property manager, comes in and speaks as well and talks about what they look for, how you get on vendor lists, and he gives some really good terminology for guys to use when they're talking with property managers, so that they sound a little bit more experienced or whatever. But
property management there's such an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
I'm beginning to scrape into in there, but it is a lot of fun. It is and what's cool about dealing with property management is it's a concentrated job. It's like you go in, it's whether it's a neighborhood or commercial buildings or whatever, it's just like it's all there. It's not like you're driving all over creation to go do different jobs. I mean, so that's something that it's in the plans for 2025 to expand into property.
Yeah. So Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
A lot of guys get into this and they're not in it too long.
Oh, boy.
They just want to give up.
Wow. Doug, one of my favorite pictures of all time, I don't know if y'all ever saw it. It's this picture of this little man. He's digging through the rock, right? And on the other side of this rock, it has a big old piece of gold. And he's right there. And if he would have just took the shovel and just dug a little bit harder, or took 2 or 3 more scoops out, he would have got to the gold.
Yeah.
So, I talk about that because there's so many people that's in this industry. They right at their breakthrough. They're at the cusp of breaking through where they need to be at, and they want to give up. And I could relate to that because I've had so many challenges in my life coming from underneath a bridge. I'm not gonna get to it, from underneath a bridge to doing some of the things that statistics says that I'm not even supposed to be doing today. So I want to share with you how and why you shouldn't give up and make a suicidal decision at a temporary time.
Yep.
Yeah, that is just, you don't want to miss that. No, you were a little blown away, Carlos, when Jeff talked about it at the first one you were at.
Yeah, there's just so many messages that come at you from that conference.
To see him talk about creating different revenue and creating residual income and the other things that he talks about, and then for him to close it out with his life story, you would have never thought he had been through what he's been through when he was speaking before.
You cannot explain how much you get out of this particular conference. I mean, It is so hard. We can sit here and have conversations and our experiences, and this is what Jeff did, and this is what Doug did, and all that kind of stuff. But you have to sit there. You have to sit there and listen to the wealth of information that you are absorbing, that is truly going to make no pun intended, that's going to make a difference in the way you run your business. This is the kind of conference that many people will give up if you don't attend this conference, if you don't have that information in your back pocket that you get from the conference. They will give up. You will not give up because the information you have in your back pocket from this conference, because you know that, to your point, Jeff, you got to keep digging. You never know. I've always had this saying that you never know who you're going to meet today that's going to make a difference in your life tomorrow. The same way that Doug made a difference in my life. I mean, I met him via Instagram. I just started watching videos from this guy. Next thing I know, I'm watching his YouTube videos. And next thing I know, I'm over there taking one of his courses, and changed the course of my life. I mean, the direction, here I am 3 years later, and I would not be able to be where I'm at without the support that Doug gave me, and the support that a conference like Differentt Maker have given me to be where I'm at today. And I am ecstatic of where I'm at. Yeah, has it been easy? No, it has not been easy. Have we had challenges? Absolutely. Has it been fun? Yes, it's fun when you have that type of information in your back pocket, because when you're having a bad day, you just reach into your back pocket and go, oh, yeah, this is what Jeff was talking about, or oh, this is what Kelsey or Doug was talking about in that conference. I'm going to be okay. Or this is what I need to do. This is what who I need to contact. This is the kind of folders I need to put together so I can give it to property managers. That kind of stuff, will not make you want to quit, because you're well equipped with the information you need to stay on course.
Right.
You have to take this course.
All right. So, guys out there, this is the Difference Makers Conference. It's February 6th and 7th right here in Houston, Texas, you would want to fly into the George W. Bush Intercontinental Airport. It's airport code IIH. I don't know why they have such a long name, but anyway. And that airport is only like 10 minutes, 12 minutes from the hotel. And they have a shuttle that will come pick you up at the airport. They'll actually take you to dinner somewhere around the area within 5 miles or so, which there's a ton of places. And then when you get ready to fly out, they'll take you back to the airport. You don't really have to rent a car, and if you don't want to, or you can Uber from the hotel, of course. But that's and you've got a discount code. I think the rooms are like $79, $74, $79, something like that. Doug Rucker's School is the code that you use. So we have limited seating. We still have some left. So get signed up as quick as you possibly can. This is coming up in less than 10 days, I believe. We got next week, and then it's the following week. So, Jeff, give us some closing comment, or Carlos, give us some closing comments, and then Jeff, take us out of here.
No, don't listen. I mean, I get it. For those of you who may not know Doug, may not know Jeff, may not know the Difference Maker and all the things you guys do for everybody. These guys are real, man. These guys, they're not here just to take your money and walk away. They're truly, their hearts are in helping every single one of us to be successful. Till this day, this is 3 years later, till this day, I still text Doug and have questions about whatever I might be doing, might be having some difficulties with whatever at a job. I mean, he replies right away. And this is 3 years later. He does not have to do this. So if you're on the fence, you have to experience this. You have to make it a priority, no matter where you are, whether you already have a business or you've been doing it for a while, or you just starting your business. You have to make this a priority to go to this event, learn what the amazing information they give you. And on top of that, you get to connect with people like Doug and Jeff that are there to support you at every single step of the way. Not only not only at the conference, but here I am 3 years later, and I'm still texting Doug about stuff that I need that I don't know how to do, and he's helping me and supporting me. These people are real. This conference is real. You gotta take the lead and go fly into Houston, sit in that conference, and absorb the great information you're gonna get from this meeting.
One important thing about what you just said is, and the reason Jeff and I do that and continue to mentor guys and continue to help is it's so fun to watch somebody start and build and become successful. Okay. We didn't make you successful. We can't guarantee success. We had a very, very minute part. Carlos, the big sign, and Jeff has seen it too, above in the training room. It says, yep. Education without action is just entertainment.
Right.
So if you're going, you've got to go and take the action, which you did and which you do. And so It's just so you'll never know what it feels like to have a guy come in that's never pressure washed before, and takes the training and takes the courses, and 3 years later, he's still supporting his family, and it's just, it's goosebumps. So, we appreciate that, but we just want people to understand all we can do is help you, guide you, direct you, but you have to take the action to become successful.
I mean, you guys are real. There's a lot of people not real on the internet. You guys are for real. I mean, what you see is what you get. And when they say they're going to support you, I can attest to that almost every single day. I mean, the first year, Doug, you probably got, I don't know how many messages you got from me.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, man. I was like, This guy is gonna be like, he is one text away from telling me to go fly a kite because I am done with this guy. It's been a year, and there's never. The only thing I've gotten from you is said, hey, hold on a second, I'm busy, give me a few, and that's it. Never have you said, no, I'm not gonna answer anymore. No, you go away. Never.
Couldn't do that.
It's refreshing to have that somebody that nowadays we meet people via the internet, like I met you, but to understand that person behind that screen or that video or that YouTube, it is for real, and they are who they say they are, like Jeff and you. It's refreshing, and it's great to have, man. There's no way I would have done this without you guys supporting the way you guys supported me. And
well, we appreciate you coming on tonight, taking time out of your Sunday night.
Always. For you, anything, you guys. For you guys, anything.
We appreciate you very much, and that's part of like Jeff was talking about, creating relationships. I mean, it's all about a relationship that we have. It's just not customer or whatever. We're buddies, we're friends, we're all of that stuff. So, Jeff, take us out of here, brother.
Like the name is, you become part of the Difference Maker family.
Yes.
And one day, guess what? After taking this course, you're going to become a difference maker to somebody else as well. We see you February the 6th and February the 7th right here in Kingwood, Texas. Look, guys, I'm telling y'all, get online, register. This is one you don't want to miss. You may not see us four guys in the same building again for a long time because we all go in different ways and have a lot going on. So get online, register. We'll see y'all soon. Couple weeks.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Carlos.
Always a pleasure.
Y'all take care, brothers.